Imagine, if you will, a world in which you're driving down the road and all of a sudden the headliner just falls on your face. Yeah. No. No. Hey guys, welcome back. Shop Foreman Garage. Today we're back on this 2021 Kia Telluride. This is the same vehicle that we worked on last week, in which we fixed the rear suspension, the stiff suspension. So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up here. Go check it out. But this vehicle today, I'll tell you right away, we're replacing the sunroof. And this vehicle belongs to a subscriber, and the thing that the purpose of bringing it in the first place was because of the sunroof. He had contacted me because he saw one of my other videos on sunroof where I repaired the air deflector, and it was causing some issues with the sunroof getting off track and everything like that. And if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up here and go check that one out. But so he wanted to see if I could fix it, and he brought it in, and unfortunately sometimes you just can't fix them. This one happened to break a portion of the sunroof that is not fixable. We can't get the part. It only comes with the sunroof itself, and as Matt can tell you, they're expensive. They really are. Expensive parts, expensive labor. As you can see, we pulled this entire headliner down already to replace the sunroof, and it's a lot of work. It really is. So we're gonna get into this thing and we're gonna see what broke on it. Why are we having to replace the entire sunroof? I mean, it's just a little piece of plastic. I mean, why can't we just put another piece of plastic in? Oh no. All right, let me see if I can show you what has happened with this and why we have to replace it. So let's climb up here. So this is part of the sunroof, and this is replaceable, and this sits inside here, and as you can see, the sunroof, the glass actually attaches to it, and this slides out like that, right? And it slides in, fits inside this pocket in here, you know, something like that. And if you see this piece right here, this actually slides, and this whole piece right here is attached to it, and this whole thing will slide, and I can't move it back and forth. I can't move that. And this part of it right there, those two notches, they fit down into those notches right there. So right now, the way the thing is sitting, it's actually sitting open. So this sunroof would be open right now. And this is replaceable. This piece right here, and this comes off. This is replaceable. And this little slides right here on either side of this, those are replaceable too. This, it's not. Let's go to the other side and let's look. Okay, so you can see this portion. I mean, I can grab this and I can move it. It's moving, right? It shouldn't be moving if it's attached. The problem is it's not attached. Here's that other piece. This is a piece for the other side, right? And you can see those little notches right there. This sits down in here and it slides into there and everything. And the thing should be open right now, but you can see the portion that these little notches right here fit in. It's not there. All right, so there's nothing there. Here it is, right here. There's those notches. This piece should actually be sitting down inside there, and it should be attached inside the rail. And this is what slides, and this is what grabs it. And this piece of plastic is broken. It's broken in a couple different spots. And this cannot be replaced. This is part of the sunroof. that hooks to that spring that goes along the entire inside, and we'll pull this out and I'll show you where that spring is. And unfortunately, because of this piece of plastic here, we have to replace the entire sunroof assembly. And it's one of those things. It's why I've always said, if your sunroof stops working, whatever you do, don't force it. Do not force it, because you will break that portion right there. I'm not saying that the sunroof was forced, because they can break, you know, no matter what. All it needs is just one small sliver of plastic that cracks and moves in a certain direction that it's not supposed to, and it's just going to get jammed. And if you keep moving it back and forth, it's just going to crack some more, and then it can crack some other plastic, and then when it gets, you know, all cattywampus in there and stuff, things break. And of course, if you force it, it's guaranteed it's going to break. So, and hopefully, if it breaks something that can be replaced, we can take it apart, we can replace it. If it gets off track, we can take it apart, we can put it back on track. But if it breaks a portion of the sunroof that we can't get, that we can't replace, then the only thing we can do is put a new sunroof, and they are expensive. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get this sunroof out of here. And of course, we got this headliner in the way, so we need to kind of move the headliner out a little bit. It's still attached in the back there, so I need to get that out. And definitely, I try not to move these headliners any more than I really have to, because they're delicate, especially this one. This is a fancy schmancy headliner, and I'll show that to you when we get it up. But yeah, I don't want to get markings and stuff on the headliner that won't come off, and so it makes the job a little bit harder. But I do need to move this thing back, because I need to get in here. This thing, it's not that heavy, but it's not that light either. I need to unbolt it, and we're going to be swapping stuff over. Like, here's the motor assembly, and we're going to swap that over to the new sunroof, and I will show you the new sunroof. So this right here is, well, I'll show this to you. This is the wind deflector, new wind deflector, and these are the trim clips that I'm always talking about we have to replace. Here's the sunroof. It's weird because it says caution glass, but there's no glass in here. This is the frame itself. So that is pretty much it. And this one, it comes with everything in it already. So it already has those portions, and it's already been pushed back. It's in its park closed position. So it came with all of the pieces that we need. So we don't need to transfer any of these pieces over or anything like that. We do need to move the motor over to it and the harness. And there's probably a couple little rubber stoppers and stuff back here we need to move. We may need to pull one of these crossbars off, because the visor, the sun visor that's in there, that needs to be moved over to this one. So let's get that other sunroof frame out, and we'll transfer this stuff over, and we'll see what it takes. Okay, just so you get a view from my perspective, these are the drains, and this is the driver's front drain. So I pulled these hoses off. There's another one right there, goes up in here, and they're on all four corners, and I pulled them off. This is the motor, which I need to pull this motor down, get this motor off, and this little wiring harness right here, that'll be transferred over to the other one. Let's see, I got these bolts. So nothing back there. These two bolts, that bolt, and this nut. So there's 3 bolts and 1 nut on both sides. And I get that off, and this whole thing will come out. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Pull this out, get it out of here. If you wondered why all these doors are open and everything like that, it's because I had these seaming welts pulled out, and you know, if you close the door with the seaming welts out, then it'll smash them, and then you're gonna have some other problems. So let me get on this, set you up over there, and start pulling this out and see if we can get it out. Hopefully out this driver's door, or maybe the passenger side, so we don't have to worry about the steering wheel. Yeah, so let's do that now. Hopefully I can reach all the way over here. That bolt, that nut. Great, I'll never see that again. And it's a double check. Okay, so there are actually a bunch of nuts up here. Yeah. I don't know how I missed those. There's like 4 of them. 4 of them on the very front. Pull this one out. Yeah, it's coming out. Hang on. I got one more bolt. All right. Easy, easy. Put that sun visor in there still. This is really nice whenever you got a torn rotator cuff. It feels good hanging on to this. And we are out. Okay, I found it. I did see it again. I get all these, and the other half are on the floor over there. So this is what it looks like, you know, without a sunroof in it. Of course, it's just bare. And here is the one I just put out, and this is the visor. This is what I was talking about, the sun visor, sun shield. This needs to be brought out. So I put it upside down like this. I got to get the motor off over there anyway. But if I lift this up, and whenever this is pushed, see if I can do it so it's not actually binding. Whenever this comes to its end, you see this little plug thing right here, it's stopping it. So it keeps you from accidentally pushing this thing too far back, and then you'll never get it again. So this is just a little piece of trim, and it even has an R on it right there, so the right side. And I just need to pull that out. And there's another one over here, of course, with the L. So I pull those out, and then this whole thing will slide out. And whenever we slide that out, then we will slide it in to this one over here. And of course, that one's sitting upside down. This one, we need to get it out of these things. It's actually pretty well protected in there. But I need to get this one out, flip it over upside down so I can move the visor over, sun shield visor thing, you know, keeps your head from melting. Slide that over, and I'll get this motor module assembly out with this harness, and that'll go over there. You see this like tube, right? This tube that runs in here. Well, let me get this motor out, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, let's get these out of here. It's a T25 Torx. I already had disconnected the connector. There's that gear.
and set that down. And this is the spring. So it's just like a little coil spring. And of course, you know, I don't have enough power to push that thing. I might be able to slide it. Oh, see that? It's not even sliding. I was hoping things coming apart. So let me get this thing apart and get the stuff that we really need moved over before I ruin anything, and then we'll see if we can pull one of these springs out and just you know, like, take a look at it. So let me get this moved over. Okay, I got these pieces right here out, so now I can slide this thing and it should move past it. I may, let me see. See, I can't get that out, so I'm gonna have to use two hands to do this. So this needs to move past this, and this. These are riveted on, so I can't get these off, but I'm definitely gonna need two hands to get this out. So let me pull this out, stick it over another one, stick these things on, and then we'll go from there. Okay, this piece right here that we're sliding, this is the good side. I mean, as far as we know. It's got this whole entire piece that goes with it. We need to get past this. This is a replaceable part. If these break, you can replace them. You can't get them out without breaking them, though, and it's hard to get them in without breaking them. They are a real pain. So just trying to get this thing off. It's not going to come out unless I break it, and it's not even easy to break, to tell you the truth. They usually break up here on the top, and it has these, they're like part metal, part plastic. So you basically got to break the plastic piece off to get them to come out. And then I want to see if we can slide this thing up, and of course this is going to be in the way, so I'm going to have to break this off. So let me see if I can get this broken off, get this broken out of here, and see if we can slide this thing out. These only go one way, and at the moment I can't say for sure which way it's going. So I break that piece off right there, and it's actually came loose. Put that piece in there. That's usually the piece that likes to fall into the headliner. So I actually didn't break too bad. But yeah, you can see how these pieces, they go together. They're not very easily. So we can slide this thing all the way up here, hopefully, maybe. What's stopping it? As this piece right here. Just slide it back. Yeah, that's hitting right there. Okay. Oops, sorry. Got grease all over my hands now. Come on, I thought it was coming out. Now let it slide, yeah. So get this to slide out of here. And then I need to break this off. Sorry, Matt. All for science. Okay, see if I can get this. Oh no, something's still. Oh yeah, it's still on the end here. Come on. Just stick that in there. Okay, there it goes. And there's that spring. This is the piece. Oh. Okay. So this wraps around here, the spring. This attaches to this. So this side is broken too. This attaches to this piece. That's broken right there. Or was it this? How did that go in there? So this was broken too. Let me pull this out. So here is that spring. And this thing just attaches to the spring right here. And apparently this piece right here was broken too. So anyway. Anyway, that's how the thing works. So we got a brand new one. So that's a good thing. Let's get this new one. I don't know if you noticed, but I sprung a leak earlier, and that's not good, because I mean parts of these things were built in a razor blade factory, just like, you know, under parts of dashboards and seats and stuff like that. So you got to be careful, and apparently I wasn't careful enough. Sprung a leak. The bad part about it is two things that do not mix very well is blood and headliners. So yeah, you get blood on headliners. It's almost impossible to get out. You know, to have it completely gone. So yeah, that's just stay away. And whenever I do a job like this, I end up washing my hands a lot. I do anything that I touch something that I shouldn't touch or whatever, I wash my hands, because I don't want to get the headliner or anything like that dirty, because it's just such a pain to try and clean those. And this one's got that that special fancy schmancy headliner. So let me get this up and get this put in. Let's start putting this thing back together. Okay, let's get this in here. See if I can do this. Ow, ooh, yeah, that feels good. That popping in your shoulder, the stinging feel. It lets you know that you're alive. Okay. Now my lights are going out. One by one, little by little. So get this lined up right here. Yeah, just every single one, every single light just went out. That's just my luck. That's the way it goes. All right, can y'all even see anything? Probably not. Can't stop now. Just had those, there they are. Maybe one day I can get a helper. Yeah. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Sunroof going in, bay 2. Nope. No one? It's just me. When you hold the sunroof up with one arm, rotate over, grab a nut, lie in your back on top of the center console. Get one on there, reach down, grab a bolt, get that one started. Come on. Can't see nothing. Okay. And there we go. Get another bolt. This side right here. Make sure there's nothing pinched underneath it. Every single light. Okay. So y'all might be asking, oh, why don't you wear gloves? You know, well, I don't like the way they feel. I can't feel the bolts wearing gloves, and those rubber gloves won't protect my hands from the sharp edges anyway. But when I do wear gloves, it's usually to protect what I'm working on from my hands rather than my hands from what I'm working on. So I got a couple more bolts here. Got one bolt here. Another one right here. Another nut right here. What am I missing? Oh, one more bolt. There it is. All the way around, and then I'm going to get these drains on so that I don't forget, because I'll forget, and then the first time it rains or water gets in it, it's just going to come down the headliner, everybody's going to get wet, and then they're going to know exactly why, because they're going to go back and they're going to watch a video and they're going to be, didn't put the drains on. Ooh. Okay. Let me get the other side. Get that drain. I can see, yeah. The drain goes on there just like that. Put this little clamp on and then swoop it over just like that. So that's it. Got all the bolts on. The wiring harness to this is actually on top of the headliner. So it's right here. This sunshade works. So that is pretty much it. So yeah, whenever I started on this morning, I came in early this morning, and I wanted to knock this thing out, you know, and start working on it before anybody got here. And that was first thing this morning. It's like past 5 o'clock right now, because I just kept getting pulled away and pulled away and pulled away. So next thing I need to do is just get this headliner put in, and probably gonna have to do that first thing tomorrow morning. Just get her done, and just knock it out as quickly as I possibly can. And maybe one day I'll get a helper and can do this stuff a lot quicker. So we will start doing that and see what happens. Good morning. What do you say we knock this thing out and get this headliner put in and get this thing put together? Let's go. There is one major rule of thumb that I forgot. So what that is never, ever, ever, I mean ever, put a headliner back in the vehicle until you know for sure that that sunroof is gonna work. Because you put the headliner in, you put the sunroof on, it doesn't work, or maybe it won't initialize or something, and then you're gonna be crying. And you know, there's nothing left but the crying right now anyway. Let's look at this. We're gonna have to put this sunroof, we're gonna have to put this glass in and try and get this thing going with this headliner down. So we got everything here, everything that we need to get the thing put on. This right here is the area where the sunroof bolts in, and there's bolt holes there, there, and there, and same thing on the other side. Look, this comes with a trim. This is pretty much a complete system. And so these little trim pieces, the way that you take them off, is you can just slide the thing forward like that. And you can see that little notch right there, where it just pops right out. So pops in, locks in place, push it forward, pull it out like that. So these trim pieces, got to get those off because it's the only way to get to these bolts from the inside. So let me get this glass up here, and of course it's original glass. There's nothing wrong with the glass, the sunroof glass. And let me set it in here, and then we'll get it bolted down, and I guess I might as well try and adjust it. It's going to be kind of hard with this headliner down, and I went ahead and I hooked up a couple things in the back to the headliner. I'm going to have to get the headliner over there hooked up to the motor, so we're going to have to kind of push it up a little bit. I had to, of course, connect the battery and get these seats to move up so I could hold this headliner up, so that the headliner is just basically sitting on the headrest of the seats. I might try and pull those up to get this thing closer. Look at this piece right here. So this piece right here, it's kind of like a shim, and it just sits up on top, and this is where your O's hit handle, yeah, that's right, the O's hit handle sits and there's 4 of them, and it's just like a little shim, so whenever you drop the headliner down, this thing falls out, and then you don't know how did this go or whatever. So I always try and pay attention to how this thing is sitting, and I go ahead and I hot glue these into place. There's another one over here. So I hot glue them into place because they may need to be adjusted, right? So once this thing is up in here, then it's fine if this hot glue comes loose. So I may have to kind of move the thing back and forth and get it to come loose so that I can adjust it back and forth to get the handle to line up. And here's the handle right here. So just letting you know that these things,
They fall off when you take the headliner down. If you're not careful, they'll fall into a crack or crevice or something like that, and then they get lost. And it's just ridiculous when you have to spend so much time looking for something, you know, that just fell down. It's like, where the heck did that go, you know? So anyway, right now, what I need to do is get this glass. Here's the glass right here. So I need to get this glass up on top there. I'll get that other trim piece pulled out like this one, and I will set the glass on top of here, try and go from underneath there and get it bolted in. You know, if not adjusted, at least get it tightened to a point where it looks okay for now. And then we're gonna try and see if the sunroof moves. My guess is we're gonna have to do an initialization, because this sunroof, the one we took out, from what I remember, it thought that the sunroof was open. And we just pulled that motor off the old one and stuck it on the new one. And then we stuck it back in. So it may be in the mode where it thinks that the sunroof is open and not closed. So we need to be able to make sure that it knows where the sunroof is. So we'll have to do the initialization and everything before we get this headliner in. So once this is in, it's working, everything's good, then we'll go ahead and we'll put the headliner in. So let me get that glass and let's stick this thing in here. All right, let's see if I can set this down without breaking something, scratching the top, dropping it through. No, I can't drop it through. Let's get it into place. Taking my finger off. Okay, I have to go underneath and get it in the right spot. Okay, I'll try and get this thing straightened out here. I would show you what I'm doing, but I can't hardly see it myself, much less show the camera. This passenger side is not wanting to come down. Okay, just so you can see this, I got the bolts in. This one there, this one there. And this one is like the hardest one. There's just no room here. But they're not completely tight, so I can push on this. And this one is a little bit tighter, because I needed to hold it into place to get the other bolts. But I need to push the thing back and forth. So get out here so that I can get this thing level. I'm gonna push this thing down a little bit. That's a little bit too far right there. This needs to be moved up some, and then I need to do the adjustment on the other side, so it should be even all the way around. So I need to mess with this and play with it back and forth. See if I reach in here and push this up. Okay, one of them is too tight, so I may not get the adjustment perfect right now. I'm just gonna get it to where I can get it and tighten it down, so that way we can do the initialization. And then once it's initialized and everything, you know, the final thing we'll do is the final adjustment, because I don't know exactly where this thing sits. I'm guessing it's completely in its park position, closed, but I don't know for sure. Once we know for sure it's in the closed position, then we can do the final adjustment. But I'm gonna get it as close as I can, and I'm gonna tighten down all these bolts, and then we will do the initialization, and hopefully this thing will initialize and it'll work perfectly fine, and we can get this headliner put back in there. So let me get this adjusted, and then let's move on to the initialization. Okay, I got the battery plugged back in. I got the headrest up. I got the headliner sitting on the headrest, so it's a little bit further up. I got everything plugged in. Got the plugs in the back, and of course on the sides because we need power to the headliner. I even got that one plugged in over there, even though that one's pretty much audio. I still haven't plugged this in. I don't think we need any of that, but we definitely need this as overhead console because it's got the switch in it. This thing right here is telling me that I got all the doors open and stuff, so that's good because all the doors are open. So what do we do? So I'm going to start the vehicle because it's better. It's better when the engine is running. The sunroof works better when it's got power, the engine running. This thing is beeping at me. It's doing all kinds of stuff. See if you can see this. Got forward collision, check blind spot collision. Got this little light right here going on and stuff. And that's because this camera up here is not plugged in. All this stuff right here, nothing's plugged in there. So what do we do? Should we just try and open it or try and do the initialization? Because it's closed right now. I say we try and open it and see what happens, and hopefully we don't get in trouble and have to pull the motor back off. Of course, that's why we don't put the headliner in yet. So let me hit this button and see if it opens. And it does nothing. Did nothing at all. Okay, absolutely nothing. I got everything plugged in right here. I got the motor plugged in. Okay, so because that didn't work, it didn't do anything. And that is the front. The rear right there, and yes, this has the rear sunroof, but the rear sunroof does not open. The only thing it does have is it's got a roller blind, you know, that you can open and close right here. So that's what the rear is. Let's try and do the initialization. This is the procedure for replacing your sunroof assembly. That's it. Real small, not very many things to do here. So let me just read the whole procedure. The first thing is remove the roof trim. Yeah, the headliner. That's not hard. Doesn't take long. Says I can't see now because I'm blind. Loosen the mounting nuts and remove the mechanism rail assembly. That's what they call this thing that we replace, a mechanism rail assembly. And then step number 3, to install reverse removal procedure. So that's easy. Now we need to perform motor initialization when replacing sunroof / roll blind. Well, the roll blind is the thing in the back. So I guess it's the same procedure if you replace the roll blind. Close the sunroof or roll blind. Press the close switch until the sunroof or roll blind moves slightly. My guess is not going to move at all. Then you release the button after it moves slightly. Then press the close switch until the sunroof or roll blind opens and then closes. So let's push this switch closed and see what happens. It moved a second. I stop. Gonna hold it. I'm holding. I saw it move. Holding. It says to press the close switch until the sunroof or roll blind opens and then closes. So I'm holding the close switch. It's not doing anything. It did move though. It should have done something by now. I'm gonna release it, hold it again. Holding. Come on, do something. Do something, you motor. Come on, motor, do something. So it's not doing anything. Okay, I release it. What if I go the opposite way? Pulling it back. It's hard to do with this thing just dangling here, so nothing. If I push on it, I can see it move.
Main menu. Which of these would you like help with? You can say, schedule an appointment.
Apparently I'm calling Kia. Cancel. Cancel?
Sorry.
Cancel?
Sorry. Sorry, we seem to be having trouble. You can find answers from many questions on our website.
So Kia lady's talking to me. I must have pushed this UVO button by accident. Okay, so this isn't not working. So I think what I'm going to do is we will try a capacitive discharge procedure. So let's do the capacitive discharge procedure, try it again. If that doesn't work, then we're gonna do the trick where we pull the motor down and then run it until it stops and then put it back up and then try it again. So let's turn this off and let's do the capacitive discharge procedure. Okay, capacitive discharge. I see there's no trim clips here. Let's pull this out. What we're gonna do is disconnect the battery, disconnect the negative cable, disconnect the positive cable, and I have this cable here with these alligator clips. I'm going to hook this one to the positive cable, not to the battery. I'm going to hook this one to the negative cable, not the battery, and this should take any power out of any of the capacitors and all of the modules in the entire vehicle. So it basically just renders everything, you know, to sleep, to gone, dead. You have no power. So all the capacitors completely discharged, including anything, any power that would be into that in that window motor module, because that's not just a motor, it's a module. And it thinks for itself, and sometimes it thinks it knows better than you. So that's the case right now. It's like, no, I'm not gonna open because I'm already open, or whatever. So this doesn't take long. You just put this on here for like 10 seconds or so, and it should be done. So let me disconnect this. Make sure you disconnect these before you put these back on, because otherwise you're gonna be welding, and it would not be good. Sparks flying. Okay, connect this back up. Now let's see if it works. Okay, back here, start the vehicle, start it up. I am going to push on the switch once. Oh look, these are on, didn't know that. Okay, try not to hit the UVO button. So I'm gonna push the switch on. This is gonna move, I'm gonna release it, then I'm gonna hold it again and see what happens. Ready, go. Release, hold. That is exactly what it did last time, and nothing happened. Come on, motor module. You need to learn your place. Motor module, it's not doing anything. So I'm still holding it closed. Hold it closed till the sunroof opens and then closes. So this is not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do, I mean, it should have gone by now. I'm still holding it. This is exactly why we don't put the headliner up until we get the sunroof working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen these bolts. I'll release that. Wait, let me push it again. Come on, motor module, learn your place. Nothing. thought maybe I could trick it. It's too sly. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these bolts and I'm going to loosen them. I'm not going to take them completely out, but I'm going to loosen them so I can pull this motor down, and then that way that gear will not be running on these springs, and the motor can turn and it won't be moving anything. That way, when I hit this close or whatever, because it thinks it's open, so I hit it closed and it'll keep turning until it realizes it doesn't feel any pressure from the sunroof, and then it'll finally realize it doesn't know where it's at, and then maybe, you know, we're basically beating this thing into submission, you know. So okay, I don't know where I'm at, and then it'll maybe learn. So let me get this thing down and then we'll try that. All right, I got this thing loose right here. So, and it's hanging down enough. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see it, but it should be hanging down enough that gear is not touching the springs on this track. So let's see what happens. See if we can even tell. I'm going to push this closed. Yeah, and I'm not holding it anymore. Okay, right there. It moved and then it stopped. Right, I pushed it closed, it moved. Hopefully you could hear that, and then it stops. So now I'm gonna push this thing back into place, tighten these down, and then we'll try and do the initialization. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we are again. Got this thing tightened up, ready to try this again. So I'm just gonna try and do the initialization. I'm gonna push this and hold it, and if it clicks, then I'll let it go, and then I'll hold it down again to close, and let's see what happens. Ready, go. I didn't hear anything. Still holding it. Still holding. Okay, I heard something. I let it go. Holding it again. Holding. I hear something. Oh, look at that. It's moving. I'm still holding. Oh, now it's closing. I'm still holding. It's closing. Done. Let it go. How about that? Let's see if it works now. So now I'm going to hit open. There it goes. Woo-wee! Look at that. And that is all the way open. It's the way it goes. I'm going to hit close. And my hand's off of it. It's closing. Okay, let's see if we can get the back to go up. I'm going to push it back up. There it is. Pull it. Or hit the close button, actually, until it closes. And that's it. It's working. That is why, that's why you don't put the headliner on until you get the sunroof working. And ask me how I know. Well, I'll tell you how I know, because I've put headliners on before and then the sunroof wouldn't work, and then you got to pull the headliner off, and you know, everybody's crying. I guarantee you. And I don't know how many times I don't know how many times this has happened. You know, guys in the shop, you know, they come to me like, hey, I got a problem. Like, what's going on? Well, I put the sunroof in and it won't initialize and I can't get it to open and stuff. Okay, did you put the headliner on? Yeah. Okay, so we try and do everything, capacitive discharge, the stuff, and nothing works. And I tell them, man, pull the headliner back down because we got to get that motor off of there. I mean, seriously, do the engineers actually do this? I mean, have the engineers gone out in the field and said, hey, okay, well, let's try and initialize this with the headliner on, you know? I mean, I guarantee you they haven't. They're like, well, this is the procedure, this is the way we set it up, so it should work. It's going to work, you know? But, well, why does it not work? You know, it doesn't work. You got to pull the motor off and then hit the button. You know, why don't they put that in the procedure? Why doesn't the procedure right here say, do not put headliner on until the sunroof is initialized and working? Why doesn't it say that? It doesn't say that, you know, but I guarantee you if you're a technician and you put this headliner on and then you had to take it back off to do the initialization and get that motor off and all that stuff, you're gonna remember, and next time you'll do it. I mean, this time I almost forgot. So, okay, vehicle's still running. Let me turn it off. Okay, so now we can put the headliner back on. I'm gonna take this off so it's not dangling anymore, and we can start putting the headliner on, and let's do that now. Okay, I want to interrupt this program to bring you this right here. This is a EV9, and as a matter of fact, it is a 2024 EV9. But look at this. So look at this paint. This is what you call flat paint, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to show up, you know, in the video. But this is flat paint, and I know, you know, I'm gonna give my opinion, and that's okay. It's my channel. But why in the world would anybody want flat paint? Why would you? It doesn't make sense to me. You have all the same problems that you have with shiny paint, only now it's on the flat side. You know, if something hits this, it may accidentally shine it. You know, you don't want to go through a regular car wash because it might shine it, and then you got a shiny spot. You know, like a regular shiny vehicle, you know, something hits it, you get a scratch, or you got a dull spot. It's like, oh man, I got to polish that up. Well, this is opposite. You know, it's like, I got a shiny spot. You know, and to me, and of course this is just my opinion, but I mean, you can see the reflection, you know, in the paint right there. Well, I don't know if you can see. I'm not sure exactly how it's coming off in the video, but of course it's like a flat reflection, you know. So to me, and especially since it's dirty and it's got dirt and stuff on it, it doesn't look like, because it's dirty, it doesn't look like a flat paint job to me. It looks like a neglected vehicle. So, you know, I mean, why buy flat paint? Just, you know, buy a regular vehicle and then just neglect the paint, and eventually you'll have flat paint eventually. So I just don't understand why anybody would want this, and you can't take it through a regular car wash because you might accidentally shine it up. So you got to do special stuff to it to keep it flat. And I mean, this mirror, it just looks like a neglected mirror to me. It has no shine to it. Like I said, I don't know how it's gonna show up in the video, but we got shiny stuff on it, you know. So why do we have shiny stuff on flat paint? Why don't we just make this dull too? And you know, just make everything dull. I don't get it. So I just wanted to put that little rant in there, you know. So now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Okay, I've shown this to you before and I'm gonna show it to you again. This is the special clip that goes into the A-pillar trim. And the thing that's so special about it is whenever whenever the airbag explodes, it allows this thing to pop out but not completely come off, because if it were to pop off of the A-pillar and go flying, it would go flying through the air like this and it would hit somebody in the head, and so that would be bad. So this keeps it, allows it to pop open but not come off. And we're going to replace this because whenever I took this off, I had to cut it in order to get it off. It's tethered on. So what I'm going to do, push those pieces right there. I'll make sure that y'all can see this. Push those like that. And at the same time, with my third hand, I'm gonna pry this out just like that. Pull that out. This slide out of there. Slide. It just slides. It just slides right out. It's like really easy. See, there's the piece that I had to cut off right there. And I'm just gonna just slide it. It just slides. It's like easily just slides. Did I mention it slides off? Okay, that is trash. This one, new one. Open it up. It's like, what are you talking about? It looks exactly the same. Well, no, it has this piece on it. This is already all pushed in already, right? So slide that in, just like that. And then I'm going to pop this back on, just like that. And there it is. There's the trim clip. It's pushed in. So we get these A-pillar trims in, and then we're going to be pretty much done with this. Okay, good. A-pillar trim goes into the slots. Push it down. Bring it over, make sure the airbag is tucked in. It would probably be a good idea to make sure that this stuff is clipped in so it's not in the way. That is it. Seaming welt going in. Come on, line up. All the way down. Make sure that's in correctly. Okay. We may now have to do some testing. All right, the last thing, this seaming welt in the very back. Try and save this for last because this is the stuff that's got that nasty tar stuff on it, and you definitely do not want to get that on you and then get it on to everything else. Come on, get in there. This is done, that is in. Looks good. Let's see. How did we do? So we got everything on. So this is what I was talking about. I don't know if y'all can see this, maybe you can. This headliner. If this headliner were carpet, it'd be shag carpet. So it's got the, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just fancy schmancy, okay? Just trust me. If you look from here, I don't know if you can tell. Let me see if I dim the light. Maybe you can. How it looks like it's kind of like shagged. You know, like a, it's just fancy schmancy. Yeah, and because of that, it makes it even harder when it gets dirty and stuff. So I need to get all the fingerprints off. There's tons of fingerprints on here, and there was grease and stuff all over everything. I cleaned all that off earlier. You know, there was grease all over everything. You see fingerprints and stuff all over this sunroof. These trim pieces, I need to get these, and these are the new ones. So, new sunroof, new trim piece. Let's get that on there. That little divot thing goes right into that notch. I try and line them up. Rather than looking at what I'm doing, I'm trying to look through the camera. It's harder. So line that up, grab it, and pull it back. And there it is. And do the one on the other side. Right here. And what I'm going to do after this, I'm not going to bother showing that to y'all because it ain't that big of a deal. I'm going to drive the vehicle through the car wash and check for leaks and make sure everything's good. Everything's good. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you, I did check this before I put the headliner on. I made sure that this roll shade or whatever would close, open and close. So let's just double check it now. I can't start it because I'm not over there on that side. Turn the key on, open the shade. There it goes, opening. And this has the manual shade. Open the sunroof. Perfect. Close it up. Close the sunshade. Close this sunshade. Fancy schmancy headliner, and everything's in. So that's all good. Oh, no, it's not all good. Hang on. What am I looking at right here? Yeah. This, the culprit, right? This is the wind deflector. Of course, this is an old wind deflector. So because of that, we need to open this. All right. So let's turn this off. We need to install the wind deflector. Where's the wind deflector? That's the old one. Where's the new one? Hello, wind deflector. So this is the new wind deflector. This was what I was telling y'all earlier. I'll show that to y'all. I'll show it to you. Well, here it is. And it's the complete wind deflector. You can get the kits I've shown in the other video where you just get the ends. Oh, and I realized something. I just remembered something I forgot. So, and I'll show that to you. Usually you can get these ends, right? But we got the entire wind deflector here. So, let's get this on. So it goes right there, right in there, like that. And then the one on the other side, and of course because I put the little trim in, I can't see it on the other side there. Okay, there it is. So now do you realize what I had forgotten? Yeah. the screws that you never want to lose, because if you lose it, there's a special screw and you'll never get another one like it. And they're not lost. They are right here, right there. So it's a special special Torx bit. So let me get these off, and I'll get them on over there, and then we'll be done. Okay, let me see if I can get this in here. That's supposed to sit in there like that. So yeah, put the screw in like this, and hopefully I do not drop it, because like I said, there's no other screw like it. It's the only kind of itself in the whole world. Yeah, I've been through that before, where the screw went flying. I can't find it. Let's just get another screw. Oh, they don't make that screw. We can't find one. Nobody in the entire world has a screw like it. I have no idea. I don't know. This is just, you know, what I get from the parts of the room. I realize y'all can't see what's going on, and it's okay, because I can't see it either. But that is going down in there. Not too tight, not too loose, just right, just like that. This thing is stiff. It's really stiff, wow. Okay, other side. Other side, screw going in. Gotta be I'd like to say there's gotta be an easier way to see the snow. There's not. This is the easy way. We've already hit the easy button. Going down, going in. Tighten it down. Okay. That is it. It feels really stiff. I don't know, maybe it's just me. And these things are really stiff. So let's see, let's start it up and see if the sunroof closes on that. See if it works. Starting it up, hitting the button, it's closing, pushing it down, closed, done, easy, finished. No, it's not finished. I just need to clean all this up. And what else? Yeah, the back is still open. Got everything out of here, no tools, nothing. Push that, let's see if it goes down. Probably not, because I've had did a capacitive discharge and everything with and disconnected the battery. So just so y'all know, if y'all have a power tailgate, power lift gate, whatever, and you disconnect the battery and it was open, then it's probably not going to work, because it doesn't know where it is. We did a capacitive discharge procedure anyway. So the way you reset them is just, you know, be careful, close the thing manually, make sure it actually latches. Then hit the button, and it should remember that it is an auto-magical door, and it auto-magically opens and closes. And that's the way you reset them. And everything done here. I need to clean this up a little bit, and I'll save y'all from having to watch me do that. That's good. This seeming well. This definitely needs to be clean, because you got to shove your foot in here, practically sit on that to get up in there. And I definitely need to clean that window right there. And I'm going to drive it through the car wash, make sure it's not leaking or anything like that. Make sure the door closes. I don't know why it wouldn't. Get this piece back on here. We didn't have any trim clips for that. This is gonna have to be cleaned too. All this is done. My tools. is that. So, Matt, there you go. Thank you for letting me work on your vehicle again and make this video, because otherwise I wouldn't have anything to make a video on, because as y'all know, you know, I'm only limited to whatever comes in the front door, and I'm not going to show you the same video over and over and over. We've messed with sunroofs before, but we have never actually pulled an entire sunroof frame mechanism or whatever out and put one in, and we actually got to do the initialization and it worked, so that's cool. Matt and his wife are their military, and I would just like to say, for all y'all people out there that are military, I appreciate everything that you do and the sacrifices you make, and our government, but the most important thing that we have in this country is the men and women that are in our U.S. military, and hats off to you guys. I appreciate you, and I appreciate every single one of y'all. If you're sticking around, you're still here, thanks for hanging in, and we had fun, really did. I would rather not spend time anywhere else but here with you. And if you are still here, hit that thumbs up. Let other people see this video and come along for the ride. And I appreciate the heck out of each and every one of you. And I will see you in the next one. Okay, here we go. Waterfall. No leaks.